I was just sitting here thinking about the profoundness of the belief that we have and the power of believing. Everybody knows there's power in believing. It's a well-known fact in most spiritual disciplines and a lot of what people do in the world, and by believing in something and causing things to happen. Even Jesus said, if you had the faith of a mustard seed, you could cause things to happen as I do, if not greater. And this belief, and tie that in with not worrying about what other people think. It's kind of strange how, when I thought about this, I was actually sitting here looking at myself and thinking of how wretched I am and the great turmoil and havoc that I've caused in people's lives, and how many people think ill, they look at me and consider me sick or hate me, or, and there are a handful of people in the world that will remember me in a good way. There are only a handful. And I thought to myself, that is better than nothing. It then took me to a point where I was thinking of people like Charles Manson. I wonder if there were people in his world, even if a handful, that actually saw him, that believed in him, that saw him in a good light. A man that with serious problems, but could they see the goodness in him? Because what a sad state of affairs to go out of the world not having a single person believe in you. That's got to be the worst. That's got to be the worst kind of thing ever. When I think about all the things I'd suffer with in my lifetime, that would be the worst. That would be absolutely the worst. To go out of this world not having a single person who believes in you, that sees you in a good light. I think Jesus saw people in a good light. He went to the sick people and he drew out what was best in them. He lit the little candle. The Pharisees walked around with spotlights looking for their problems in order to weigh them down. Jesus came along with his candle and lit up their candle, told them to stand up and just keep walking. Don't worry about the Pharisees. Just keep doing the best you can, and I'm right here. And if you see your brother also caught in the same position you're in, go and light his candle and continue on. Continue to keep walking. Don't worry about the people with the bright lights. It's all just for show, It's an amazing thing to me when I think about it. The depth of that understanding. Believing, in the power of belief. And I thought further, and I looked at this idea of what people think, and I've heard it, and I'm trying to apply the wisdom that people are teaching me right now. One of the things is that I can't worry about what other people are thinking. When I had this discussion with somebody, and I says, well, granted, I can see that, but if what they think is followed by something that they're doing as a result of what they think about me, that can cause me some problems, because no, their thoughts themselves can't touch me. But if, for instance, let me just give you a real world example of something. Let's say that I'm known to be a thief. I need a job. I live in a town where there's nothing but retail stores to work in. I knock on the first door. I need a job. Oh, we're sorry, we can't hire you. Now, I'm known to be a thief, so what they think about me is going to play a large role in whether I get a job with them or not. Seriously. So it's not so much that the thoughts that people have that affect you, it's what they are choosing to do with what they think about you. And how much more hurtful is this when a lot of what people know about you and what their judgments are based on according to what they've heard from other people instead of the demonstration or the person that you are right now. And there's no knowing what somebody's out is right now without hearing it cross their own lips, without seeing them demonstrate it for themselves before you. To cast an idea or a judgment or an opinion upon someone via something you've heard from someone else who may have been hurt by them in the past gives very poor evidence to support that kind of judgment. There's no way that that can be supported, because in the same token, when you look at your own life, you want to hold yourself up and say, well, you know, yesterday I did this, but today is a new day. I go forth from here, a new man, and this is how I want to be seen. And you'll preach that. But then you see the man that was caught stealing. No, I don't want him working for me because he used to steal. He's known to be a thief. The same wisdom that you apply to your own life, that you are a new man, you're not applying to him. Every day that goes by is a new day. And Jesus himself said, you know, how many times do you forgive your brother for the same sin, same day? 7 times 77. The idea had nothing to do, when I think upon these things, the idea has nothing whatsoever to do with what I am then, but it has to do with what I am now, where I am now. Who do I want to be? Who am I aspiring to be? If I am a man that has come to that place of enlightenment, the light, and lit my own candle, then my motivation, my overall motivation when I meet people will be to help them to light their own candle. If I go around slandering, gossiping, according to what I think about someone, I really don't have a light myself. Because a person of the light wants to shine light. He doesn't want to continue to spread the darkness that the person's living in. Because all you can possibly do by raving about someone else's problems to other people, you might put it in the guise of warning people about the sick and twisted. You know, like, I know there's people out there that are thinking they're doing society a favor by running around telling them how sick I am. You know, gladly would confess that I'm sick if somebody asked me, but instead they want to hear it from so-and-so over there who's spreading it around. That's the kind of thing right there that causes a person such as myself, who are weighed down with what we are and what we've done and are seeking to be free. They don't offer freedom. If they come by and they offer freedom and you don't accept it and they go out and slander, well, they never had anything to give you in the first place. Because when I look at them and they're full of slander, then I say to myself, why would I want to have anything that they have when all they are doing right now is speaking the language of darkness? It grieves me, you know, when I think, as I said, there's only a handful of people that believe in me. Really. And belief isn't so much that when I say believe in me, you know, well, I'll believe in you, Chris, but, you know, at a distance. You know, it's like the thief getting a job. If you really believe in me, give me the job. Seriously, there's nothing that shows you believe in me more than giving me the chance. The chance to prove it. You know? And even if, like Jesus said, forgiving a brother 7 times 77, even if it happens 7 times 77 times in a day, what am I demonstrating every time I get up and say, yes, I was wrong? I'm demonstrating repentance. I'm demonstrating a repentance. How do you demonstrate repentance if you don't do anything wrong? Seriously. And how many people are there in the earth that don't do anything wrong? Repentance, bearing the fruit in keeping with repentance, is a very simple process. And if you're not willing to allow someone to demonstrate that fruit, even if it takes them 1,000,000 times to get it right, you're not allowing them to grow, and you're not letting them heal. Therefore, you're playing the role of the opposite, the antagonist.